in their bio, which is short for Save Yourself Black Man. Those dudes are tricks. These dudes have a firm understanding that they're so socially awkward and so socially inept that they need to pay to have access to coochie. Thing is, they're so broke that they can't afford the cost of women, sex workers here in the United States. So these dudes with warehouse jobs, these the type of Negroes that work on the line up there in Detroit in the car plants, they take their little 35, 40K overseas because it stretches longer.
Talking about how they are sick of women in America and how they're going to get their passports and go overseas and find them a wife. Well, the truth of the matter is you don't want a wife. You want a slave. You want a maid. You want a personal assistant. These women are in dire financial need. And it sickens me that you get online and vocalize and brag about getting your passports and going to these countries with these to get a wife who needs a green card to escape extreme poverty. Whether you pay her family, whether you pay her, no matter what the circumstance is, she is in a dire situation. How dare you capitalize off of the fact that this woman just wants to live and thrive financially. And then you call it a marriage. That's not marriage. It's modern day slavery, and I think that it's sick. I think that it's disgusting, and all you're really doing is sifting yourself from the real divine masculines and alpha males. Because when they walk in the room, we know it. You know why? Because we feel safe. And we're not safe with you. And we know it, and that's why we're disrespectful to you. That's why we don't like you, and that's why we don't give a damn that you're going to another country to find a wife. And while you're there, get the help you need to heal your inner child, because we know that you're unhealed, that you are narcissistic, and that you are a toxic person. So while you're spending your money on your new bride, be sure to get the help that you need to. We ain't mad. We don't want you. We see you. You're not a divine masculine. We ain't mad.
And I would be fine.
What was the key? What did your mother know? What truth was coming through your mother that's going to come through you to your daughter?
My mother gave us aphorisms to learn as children. And there are two that stand out foremost in my mind. One is the inner reality creates the outer form. I learned this when I was in grade school. I was very young. And the other is the universe bears no ill to me. I bear no ill to it.
Yo! Yes, sir. It's official. Like a referee with a whistle. Like, share the video. Man, I don't like when my camera start looking like this. The light is a little dim. I don't know why this shit does this, but I'm gonna roll with it, you know. My camera, the lights should be lighter. But for some reason, this camera, it does that sometimes. I don't know why it does that, but it just does. I'm not sure if it's the camera or the computer. I got a new computer, yo. You know, I think it's the camera. Because it didn't do this on the other computer. So, but it's all good, you know. But hey, like, share the video, and all that good stuff, man. And we're going to do like we always do, man. We're going to talk that talk, and we're going to go out and make it happen, man. You know, but today, tonight, I should say, I'm going to do something a little different, because I usually don't talk about my past experiences a lot because it's the past. And I don't live in the past. I try not to anyway. What the fuck is this? What the hell? Yeah, I try not to live in the past. You know, I try to, I'm a forward thinker. I like to keep it moving. Learn from the past, but I try not to stay there very long. You know, that's my mentality. Now, I know there's a lot of guys that are kind of in a kind of fantasy world when it comes to being overseas, you know, because you have to understand, I've been traveling since the 90s, mid 90s. The first time I left home was 1990, what, 5. But the first time I went overseas was 1996. And the first place I went was Japan. Think about that. In 1996, I went to Japan. That's the first time I ever been anywhere outside North America. Picture that, man. I'm what, 20 years old at the time? I was green. I didn't know shit. I didn't know, like literally, I was green. I didn't know where Japan was located at the time. I've heard of Japan, but there wasn't no Japanese people where I lived. Now, there are always Chinese people, Chinese, Korean, Vietnamese. That's about it. There wasn't no Filipinos or, you know, that's it. It was in whites and blacks. That's it. When I was growing up, you know. So, I went to Japan and I just made the best of that shit. Now, did I like everything about Japan? No, I didn't. I've said this before. Japan is the one place where I've had some of my worst experiences in my life. I'm serious. I'm dead ass. I've had some of my worst experiences in Japan. But you know what? It didn't kill me. Nothing happened to me, physically anyway. I didn't die. I didn't get shot. I didn't get stabbed. And nothing happened to me, like physically. Was I in danger? Yeah, maybe once, you know, but I survived, you know. See, I was under the when I was in basic training, that's when I found out I was going to Japan. Probably midway through basic training. And somebody was like, yo, I told somebody I was going to Japan. I was going to be stationed over there. And somebody was like, oh man, the Japanese people are so nice and they're known to be honest and upfront and straight shooters. And boy, that was a lie. That wasn't true. But for whatever reason, I took that guy's advice, and it turned out not to be true at all. I was like, yo, these women over here are just as crazy as the women in America. That's what I said to myself at that time. And you got to keep in mind, there were women from everywhere in Japan. If you go to Tokyo, women from everywhere. Tokyo is a lot like New York City, but more crowded. There were women from everywhere, all around the world. So it wasn't just Japanese women that I was meeting, or just people in general. There were people from all over. I'm meeting Russians, people from the Philippines, people from America, even people that's not in the military that's living over here from America, Australians, British, where else? People from the islands, East Indians, people from all over the place, man. People from Laos, Vietnam. You know, I'm meeting people from all over the place, you know. But for the most part, I didn't really hit it off with a lot of foreigners in Japan. I didn't really hit it off with a lot of those people because they were just like me, basically. The only difference between them and me, for the most part, was I'm military. And they came over there for maybe they took a job or came illegally or stayed illegally or whatever the case may be, you know. So some things we had in common, some things we didn't. But the one thing we had in common is we were both foreigners to that land at the time. But I still didn't hit it off with a lot of those people, you know. But one of the biggest mistakes I made is I thought, for whatever reason, I took that dude's advice, and I believe that a lot of Japanese women were like nice, straightforward, honest. No, that wasn't true. No, of course there's some women like that. But I wasn't meeting those type of women because I don't speak the language. I didn't speak the language. I didn't understand the Japanese language. And see, that's the problem that a lot of people make. It doesn't matter what country you live in. You have to learn that damn language. And this is a lot of guys are not willing to learn another language. But if you don't if you plan to stay around in that country, wherever that might be, bro, you're gonna have to learn the language. There's no way around that shit. Now, a lot of people want to take the path of least resistance. A lot of people don't like. They like trying to take the easy way out, but it ain't no easy way out. You know, if you don't learn the language, and I'm not saying you got to be a goddamn pro or you don't even necessarily got to be fluent, but if you don't learn the language, you're gonna be at a disadvantage. That's just what it is, because you won't be able to understand why they do what they do over there. You know, now there's some stuff that they do over there. I'm never gonna understand that shit. This shit don't make no damn sense. And the reason why that is because I'm from North America, and over here, we've been programmed to basically, it's all about the win. This is a very competitive place that we live in North America. It's all about getting yours. You be an individual, be independent, and all that bullshit. You know, that's how it is over here. These other places aren't necessarily like that. It's about the group. It's a group thing in a lot of these other places. So even though you might look at them and say, that shit don't make no sense. They fucking getting their ass kicked over there. Or they losing. But that doesn't really matter because it's about the group. It's not really about the individual. It's not about individual accolades. You know, that's the thing that I had a hard time dealing with that because I'm used to winning. I'm not used to self-sabotaging, putting myself in a bad position to get taken advantage of. Over there, it don't even matter. You know, I mean, it's about the group. You know, now I understand groupthink. I understand. I put family first. I'm a team guy all day, every day. But if the shit ain't working, man, you gotta adapt. It's just my way of thinking. You're supposed to adapt, make changes while you on the go, while you're moving and grooving and prospering. But they don't necessarily look at it like that. No. They might not make no changes. None. Zero. And this shit'll get going downhill. And they expect you to go along with them because you're in the group. See, that's the problem that I have. You know? So I had to separate myself from a lot of people over there. Because I'm just not programmed like that. I'm not built like that. I'm not cut like that. You know, I'm not gonna shit on myself. I'm not going to do something and I know it's not gonna work. I'm not gonna purposely do something and I know it's not gonna work. They do that shit all the time in a lot of these other countries. And they'll justify and say, well, it's my culture. Yo, your culture is failing you right now. Your culture have you living in the favelas. You living in something worse than the hood. You're in a shack. You're in a damn trailer. Come on, man. Don't tell me I'm supposed to keep my family in squalor because of my culture. See, I don't understand that. I don't understand that way of thinking. And see, you have these other people that they believe in the group so much. They'll say, oh, we're all the same people. But y'all don't get treated the same. They say, what you mean? Y'all don't get treated, y'all don't live the same. Y'all don't get treated the same. Y'all might come together for a festival or a carnival, some shit like that. But when the carnival's over, y'all go y'all separate ways. You go back to your favela, and they go back to the suburbs, near the beach somewhere. Yeah, y'all ain't the same. Y'all from the same land, okay? Yeah. Nation, yeah. Y'all not getting treated the same. So, in my mind, if we ain't getting treated the same, We ain't the same damn people. Nah. No, man. You don't gotta be a genius to figure this shit out. See, a lot of people talk their culture and their country. Your country don't give a damn about you right now. Your kids are starving. You're not a good role model for your kids right now, bro. You're not. No. Your wife is just there, waiting on you to do something, to make a move that's best for the rest of us. Come on, man. But this is how they think. You know what I'm saying? Let me tell you something. I love my family back home, but I'm not going to be living in squalor for them. At some point, I'm gonna have to break out of this poverty mindset. Damn that shit. And then there's a lot of self-sabotage, a lot of drinking, getting high, and man, I thought I used to drink back in the day, but no, I don't. No, they take drinking to the next level, bro. Now, see, I'm the type of person. I'm kind of a control freak, right? So I'm not going to let anything or anybody take control of me to an extent where I'm not taking care of my responsibilities as a man. I'm falling off track. I'm not showing up on time. I'm not doing what I'm supposed to be doing. No. The drinking got to go. Or the person got to go. No, I'm not gonna be struggling trying to get up the next morning with a hangover and calling off work. You sleep the whole day away, can't pick up the kids from school, or can't take the kids to school. See, that's no. There's no excuse for that. No. Or you all burned out, sick because of your diet, all the drinking, your stress, but you keep doing it anyway. No, that's not responsible, man. Man, where is that? You're not a good role model for your kids. Your sons and daughters is looking at you. I don't give a damn about no culture. At that point, my family's first. The hell with the culture. My family is first. I put family first. I don't put culture and my cousin and my brother. Hell no. If I have kids, my kids are before my brother or sister. I was raised that way. I don't. Maybe you were raised different. I don't know, but these are some of the things that I learned when I was traveling overseas. These other people see things different. Now, there's nothing wrong with seeing things different, but is the shit working? Most of the time, no, it ain't working for most of these damn people. But they still doing it. That's bad programming, man. It's working for us. Of course, it's working for a small percentage of people in these places. But what about the people that it ain't working for? and they still practicing them bad habits, and they like like this my country. They got all this damn pride for their country, and I'm like, what? Are you crazy? You know, and see, I'm meeting these women that's from these cultures, you know, and so you can't really. I tried to explain to them where I was coming from on many occasions. You wasting your time, you know. And your best bet is to find somebody that you can get on the same page with. Don't try to talk them out of their way of thinking. That ain't gonna work. You know, either she's in or she's out. You know, that's usually how it go, man. And that's when I learned that the grass is never green on the other side. It's just a different type of grass. You know, so there's no right or wrong way of living in society, but what's the best way for you to prosper and thrive in society? That's what you have to figure out. You know, that's what you have to figure out. And just because something worked for your parents or your grandparents, that don't mean it's going to work for you. And we're not like our grandparents. No, not today. We're not like our grandparents. Not even close. We're a different type of people compared to our grandparents today. No, no. Well, you might not be like your parents, depending on how old your parents is. Like I know for a fact, I'm not like my dad. No, he's better than me. He's way. Now I might get there someday, but at this point, my dad would be way better than me. At my age, if we were the same age. No, I'm not like my dad. He did some things that I would never do. No, you know, and that's okay. That's okay. And I know I'm not like my grandfather on both sides. No. Now, there's some things I've gotten from my grandfathers I can see. Even though I didn't know my grandfather on my dad's side, because he got killed doing Jim Crow. You know, my family from South Carolina, so he got killed doing Jim Crow. And my grandfather on my mom's side, I didn't know him very long. He died when I was 17. So I picked up some of the stuff from him. Now, my great grandparents on my mom's side, they died when, I don't even remember when my great grandfather died. I was young. I was like a little boy. But my great grandmother died when I was about 10 or 11 years old. She was 97 years old when she died. Yeah. And my great grandparents on my dad's side, I never knew them. You know, I never knew them. Maybe they were killed. Nobody ever said anything about them. I don't know. You know, but I grew up Jim Crow, South Carolina. You know, but that's very interesting. Nobody ever said anything about my great grandparents on my dad's side. Nobody ever said anything about them. You know, that's very interesting. They'll say, now they got pictures. but I don't really say much, you know. So I picked up, I think I picked from my great grandfather, I think I picked up the entrepreneur spirit from him because he was a business guy, was part of the reason why he got killed. It was a mob stick up, baby. You know what it is. That's how it was back in the day. If you had a business, if you were a businessman back in the day, the mob would approach you and basically say, hey, you're going to hand this business over to us or else you're going to die. Your business or your life. That's how it was. And I guess he didn't cooperate. Oh shit, what cooperate that feels good about himself? You know what I'm saying? And that, hey, he didn't make it back home. That's all we know. We don't know how he went out, but we know he didn't make it back. We know he didn't make it back home. And that's how that shit was, man. That's the stock that I came from. You know, I'm from the Georgetown, Myrtle Beach, Charleston area. You know, they call us Geechee. We're the Geechee people. That's where I'm from. So I think it's the only place left in America where the black people are still there and haven't gotten pushed out. Now, Charleston, it's over for Charleston. But outside of Charleston, I think it's the last place left in America where the black people are still there. And I travel everywhere in America. All the black people basically being pushed out the cities and small towns. And they have to go elsewhere. Or they just dying out. The old people. Pretty much. But there's no place like home. I can go back home and fall asleep with the door open. Nobody gonna come in and rob me. No. You know, and I've done it. I've done it on purpose, but I've fallen asleep with the door open all night long, knocked out on the couch. Nobody robbed me. Everybody know who I am, damn near, directly or indirectly. You know. You know, it has to do with a lot of who I am and my mentality as well. You know, that's why when I started traveling around the world, I had a hard time adapting because where I'm from, everything is just the way it is, straight up. Now, when you go to these other places, people are not really straight up. Like, people are kind of passive. You kind of have to figure out what it is. People like, if you ask somebody a question most of the time, you probably won't get a straight answer. Or it's probably a lie at a lot of these other people in these other cultures. Yeah, and I wasn't used to that. I wasn't used to that. I was kind of naive when it came to that in the beginning. You know, I was kind of like I think one of the biggest problems I have is I was so I never had to really worry about stuff like that. Somebody always had my back. Somebody would always tell me what I needed to know. You know. And then when I left home, I didn't know anybody. I didn't have anybody around to tell me what was up. I had to figure a lot of stuff on my own by trial and error. I didn't understand no languages. I didn't understand body language. I didn't understand why people do certain things. I didn't understand bad programming. You know, I had to learn all this stuff through trial and error, man. Really. And a lot of it, it wasn't easy. And I made a lot of mistakes when I was in a lot of these other countries. I mean, I've done some crazy stuff when I was in places like Japan and Thailand and Australia. I've done crazy stuff. I mean, I should have been locked up, but I was so naive. I didn't really, at the time, I didn't really think anything was wrong with it. And which is partially the reason why I never got into trouble, because even if I was talking to some authority figure at the time or whatever, they could tell that, oh, he really don't know. He really don't know that this shit ain't cool. Because people, if you're talking to somebody like a cop or something like that, they can kind of tell if you're full of shit, or if you're being honest. You know. Now here in America, you know, they say ignorance is no excuse, but that's in court. But it could be a cop too, depending on what type of cop you run into. But even cops, they know if you're being disingenuous or not. They'll be able to tell. But most of the time, man, they knew that, oh, he just don't fucking know. For real. You know? And in my 20s, throughout my entire 20s, I was just like that. A lot of shit I just did not know. You know? And there was nobody there to tell me anything different, because they were just like me. They were learning their way, learning things as they went, just like I was, basically. And this is when I started like running into mafia types, Japanese Yakuza. And I had no call hanging around any of these people, by the way. You know, now you got to keep in mind, I'm like 21 at the time. I did not know what Japanese Yakuza was all about. I did not know. I didn't know what they was all about until I was about to leave Japan. You know, I was like, oh, because now I seen the tattoos on the back of women and guys. I didn't know what that shit meant until somebody had to tell me, you know. But this is when I'm on my way out around this time. And then once somebody told me what that was all about, because they own a lot of businesses over there. They run a lot of businesses over there. So when they told me what it was all about, I was like, oh, damn. Was I in danger all these years? No. But was I in danger all these years and didn't even know it? Didn't even realize it? You know, but they never I never had no problems with any of these guys and gals. They actually looked out for me in a lot of different ways, to be honest. I don't really have anything bad to say. about any of these guys and gals. Really, I mean, I wish I could find out where a lot of them at. 'Cause, I lost contact because back then I had a Japanese phone, so and I didn't keep that phone. See, I wish I would have kept that phone. At least I would have had the phone numbers today. But I don't have a damn phone no more. I threw the shit away, man. That was a mistake, because I didn't know things were gonna be the way it is today when it comes to making phone calls. Because like when I got out, making long distance phone calls was expensive. Today, not so much. Not so much today. There's so many different ways to keeping in contact with people today. Wasn't like that in the 90s. So on my way of learning in different countries, I wasn't hanging around the best people in the world. I wasn't hanging around square people. I was hanging around mafia types, pimps, hoes. These are the type of people I was around. And I was so naive, I didn't really know no better. It's not like I went out searching for these types of people. No, it wasn't like that. I was just so naive. Now here in America, look, I knew dope dealers growing up. Yeah, but I didn't hang with them. But in these other countries, people don't really tell you who they are and what they do like that. Now, I know a hoe when I see them, for the most part, but a hoe ain't gonna hurt you. What a hoe gonna do to you? They can't do nothing to me. Might set you up. But I know when some shit ain't right. I know when it's time to get away from the hoe. But if it's a guy, people don't tell you what they do when you first meet them. And I don't expect them to do. So that's how I ended up hanging with people that I really shouldn't have been around when I was overseas. But nothing ever happened to me. That never happened to me. I never felt unsafe. I never felt like my life was in danger. Now, in North America, I felt like my life was in danger a couple times. Yeah, boy. Yeah, buddy. I felt like my life was in danger a couple of goddamn times. Being pulled over by the police. Man, it's been many nights, boy. But man, this could be it. Shit, this could go really bad right here, boy. This could be it, man. This could go bad right here, boy. This could be my worst goddamn nightmare right here, boy. I'm on the side of the road with this renegade cop. Shit. This could end up really bad. I've had plenty of nights like that. Daytime and nighttime. And I wasn't necessarily doing anything wrong. I wasn't necessarily doing that wrong. But I know how a lot of these damn cops are. Crazy as cat shit. And you don't gotta be doing that wrong. Shit could just go left. You could do everything right and still shit still could go left. Now, one thing, being in other countries, you don't necessarily gotta worry about cops very much. Unless you're doing something like wrong or now don't get it twisted. There's some corrupt cops out here in these countries now. But the difference is you really have to be doing something to get their attention, to get on their radar. Wrong place, wrong time, some shit like that. You know. Now, if you're in some place like Mexico or South America, Central and South America, you got to stay away from cops. You know, now sometimes they just be wanting your money. So just pay them off and go about your business, whatever. That happens. That happens. You know, when I went to Mexico, two things you want to not do in Mexico. Stay away from cops and don't go drifting in the dark by yourself. That, you know, that's a recipe for disaster, you know. But cops will take your money. They'll shake you down. If you're in an area where they think you shouldn't be, or it's just you. That does happen in these other countries. You know, don't get it twisted. Shit ain't sweet everywhere. Like, see, here in America, we get spoiled. We think, oh, I'm calling the police. Well, you can't call the police if the police is shaking you down. That ain't gonna work. I'm calling the police. Shit, I am the police. Give me your money. That ain't gonna work. You can't call the police if the police is a part of it. You know, that my dad used to tell me that shit. Yeah, you know, my dad grew up like that. My grandparents grew up like that. You can't call the police if the police is a part of it. You know, imagine that. Back then, people had to take care of themselves. They couldn't depend on the police. Especially during Jim Crow and slavery time. Think about this for a second. My dad was born in 1925. And my mom was born in 1933. In slavery. And my grandmother was born in 1913. And my grandfather was born 1905. In the heart of slavery. Think about that. You couldn't go to no hospital and have kids. You couldn't call no police. You know, and we're over here complaining about a phone call because somebody, you can't pay your bill. You're upset because somebody called you about a bill that you ain't got paid yet. You freaking out. You know, we're soft today, man. We're soft. We're soft today, man. You know, we're not the same people. You know, we're soft, man. But at least we know who we are. We're not like our grandparents. No. You know, a lot of us get upset over simple shit. Like shit that women say. I don't like what they're saying. Who cares? What the woman can't beat you up? I hope not. She can't stop you. I hope not. So why do you care about what she's saying? Nothing that she says is going to change anything or any decisions that I make from here on out. I'm going to do what I'm going to do, period. There's nothing that woman can do to stop me. You know? I didn't hear my grandfather talking about what grandma said to him You know, grandma ain't treat me right. I'm like, what? I didn't hear no shit like that. That's almost hilarious. I started hearing that shit when I came back from Japan, like early 2000s. You know, that's when I started hearing a lot of this stuff. People start making up shit. Like it's not. Now you gotta think about it. This is before I came online. And I remember when I first came online, the internet was like the only place where you could find the truth. At least most of it. Now the internet is full of propaganda, full of lies. Because the mainstream media has caught up with the internet. And now, see, I remember when entertainers and celebrities first came online. I remember at one point, there were no rappers, no entertainers on YouTube. There was none. The internet was full of working class people at one point. And people that were in college. This is during the MySpace days. And there were no entertainers online. There were no rappers online. The internet was a fad. That's what they said anyway. They said it wasn't gonna last. They said 2000 was supposed to be the end of the internet. Y2K. You remember that? Yeah, that's you know, when the celebrities came online, it was over then. It started to change drastically. Then when the celebrities came online, then the big brands came online right after the celebrities. And then they start throwing a bunch of money at a lot of these websites. And it's full-blown propaganda now. Like if you go to Google and search for anything, 9 times out of 10, it's a lie. Or some half-truth there. And a lot of guys on YouTube have adopted the same strategy. Wherever the trend is at, they'll just go along with it. They'll go along with the trend. It don't have to be the truth. It could be a straight up lie. Let me tell you how bad it's gotten. The propaganda has gotten so bad. There's guys that have taken information from what somebody has said, because most people take firsthand. They take information at face value, right? A lot of people have taken information from what people have said and got jammed up and got in trouble and got robbed when they got these other places. Because they told them, hey, you don't got to worry about nothing. It's safe. It's safe everywhere. The girls will be nice to you. They'll take care of you. I'm like, are you crazy? Why the hell? Strangers, why would you? If I just met somebody today, what would make me trust them with my life? I don't understand that. I don't know this person from a can of paint. I mean, just because she looked good, okay, goddamn, But what's going to make me trust her? Why would I put my life in her hands? But this is the type of shit that you hear a lot online. And people say stuff, they haven't even been to these places. And if they have been to these places, they're not there no more, but they're telling you to go there. And when you get there, well, who's the plug? Who's going to show me around? Yeah, I got money. I can stay wherever I want, but I don't know shit. I don't speak the language. So I'm supposed to just figure it all out when I get there. I don't work like that, bro. I don't know about you, but I don't operate like that. I've never went somewhere and didn't have a clue about what I was going to do when I got there. I don't operate like that. That's why a lot of places I haven't went, because I don't know enough about it to go. I don't know enough about Colombia to go or to Brazil to go. All I know one thing is I haven't taken no shots. I don't have no card. So I can't go nowhere. I don't have no card. So I from what I've been hearing, most of the countries, you have to take, the jab and have that card. I haven't done any of that. So I guess it's going to be a long time before I'll be able to go anywhere. And they say if you don't have the card, you have to take the PCR test. I'm not doing that either. So I guess I'm not going to be going down south to Colombia or Brazil for a long time. I'm not doing any of that shit. I'm not sticking anything up my nose. I'm sorry. And I'm not knocking anybody that's willing to do it. I'm just not doing it. Well, hey, man, I'm about to get up off here. I think I talked and rambled enough for tonight. Like, share the video. And P.S. and by the way, don't forget to check out the gear. If you go to, I'm gonna do this real quick. You go to, if you go to my channel and you click on the store tab, this is where it is, all the gear. This is where it is. This is my favorite. God is great, but respect is better. Yeah. So if you go to my channel and click on the store tab, that's where all the gear is at, basically. You know what I'm saying? Yep. That's about it, man. What's up, Vibe? Rationale? That's about all I got, man. I've been on here rambling long enough. You know what I'm saying? Like, share the video. Don't forget to check out the Love Can't Wait podcast. And I also have a brand new podcast all about business. Online marketing secrets is my new podcast. If you about business, hey, man, go over there and subscribe. You know what I'm saying? But that's all I got, man. That's all I got. Till next time, I'm out. Peace.
I'm right. Just got the call, it's going down tonight. It's a lot of goodbyes here tonight. But then I saw the stallion that I like. Hair from Cali, I live in the valley.